With this video, I'd like to ask this question. Does almost 1,000 horses in a car create emotion? To some, this question might be ridiculous. That amount of power must create lots of emotion, right? But in a world with more and more electric cars that feel the same, how does a driving enthusiast and petrol head like me cope with a 925 horsepower Audi RS E-TRON GT performance? It sprints to 100 kilometers per hour in a crazy 2.5 seconds and costs almost $200,000. Normally, the disappointment from internal combustion people towards electric cars is the complete lack of any feel and excitement. So does this car touch my soul at all? Does it make me smile? Does it make me want one? I have to find out. So, let us do this. Welcome to Auditography. I have been a photo and videographer for the brand for over 20 years. I am a collector of some very unique four-ringed icons myself, and I have also made the viral movie Speak Up for Audi. That led me to even meet the CEO, and many people high up in the company are my friends. The four rings is my lifestyle. Join me here in this new emotional video. The Audi RS E-TRON GT is Audi's electric executive model, as well as their first EV full-size sedan. It was released in late 2020 and is based on the J1 platform shared with the Porsche Taycan. It was immediately called one of the most beautiful cars in the world and actually won the Golden Steering Wheel Award for that exact reason in 2021. It got a facelift in 2024, which was a big step forward technologically but not so much aesthetically. It was much more powerful, had better range and faster charging, and came with a very advanced suspension. And it's the new range-topping performance version that I took to the Tatra mountains for a proper road trip to explore if the most powerful Audi ever made could win me over. Now, let's go through the crazy numbers that this car provides. The 2026 Audi RS E-TRON GT Performance is the most powerful and fastest Audi ever made. With its 925 horses and 1085 Newton-meters of torque. On paper, it should do just 2.5 seconds to 100 km per hour, but I managed to do 2.3, and there are others that did even 2.2. The first time you do it, it feels really cool and crazy fast. But what about emotion? I'll get to that in the next chapter. The 200 kilometers per hour is reached after only 7.5 seconds and the quarter mile takes 9.7 seconds. No other production Audi has ever come close to those numbers. And just to give you a little perspective, Audi's supercar, the R8 V10 Performance, needs a full extra second to reach 200. And the RS E-TRON GT Performance does these numbers despite its massive weight of almost 2.4 tons. That is a whopping 800 kilos more than the R8. When it comes to range and charging, it can go as far as 592 kilometers and charges up to 320 kilowatts on a DC charger. That allows 10 to 80% in around 18 minutes. It has a 97 kilowatt per hour battery, 2 electric motors, and of course quattro all-wheel drive. Now that we got the specs out of the way, let's do a deeper dive to things I want to emphasize. One of the RS E-TRON GT Performance strongest assets is the way it looks. I don't think that anybody with any sort of understanding of beautiful and simple car design can call this car anything else than stunning. I would say it's one of the last beautiful cars that Audi has made. Cause everything since is just a mess of split headlights, split taillights, tons of plastics everywhere, and a complete loss of identity. This car here has such a beautiful shape, and you can see from far away that it's an Audi, with its lovely quattro blisters and the overall stance. In my personal opinion, it looks so much better than its twin, the Porsche Taycan. There are a few things that I would like to address that could have been done so much better. First of all, it's the lack of exclusivity for this range-topping performance model. Shouldn't it look a bit different than the other versions? Especially that you pay quite a lot more. Yes, the forged carbon fiber is really a cool touch. But where are all the badges that show that this is something unique? Okay, I get it, this is a sophisticated car that doesn't need to scream too much "look at me" with badges. But surely some kind of differentiation from other versions should be present. Let the owner at least choose if to have badges or not. Take the front for example. You have no idea what it is because it has no model badge. Luckily, I brought a new RS5 badge with me that I just took the RS part from and put it on the grille. Such a small thing, but such a huge difference. By the way, ironically, I can keep that 5 to put it on the RS5 that actually misses the full model definition in the front. But overall, I really think Audi should have a small difference on the performance models on the badges. Remember for example back in the A4 B5 times? When you bought the 1.8 turbo that had 180 horsepower instead of the normal 150, you got a red T on the badge. It's small touches like this that I miss. One thing that really disappointed me with the facelift of this RS E-TRON GT was the absence of updated lights. That was always one of Audi's strongest assets, that even in facelifts they did a small redesign. Now you get the exact same head and tail lights as a 6-year-old car. The cost cuttings are really showing. Lazy Audi, just lazy. But overall, when you drive this car on the streets, people are drooling. It's a shame that they don't hear it coming, but once they see it, they smile. It's such a beautiful car that turns heads everywhere. So here is the most important part of this video. How does it make you feel? Especially for people like me that have owned internal combustion Audi RS models all my life. Is beautiful looks enough to win someone over? Well, let me put it this way. The most impressive thing is not the insane immediate acceleration. You do it a few times and then it's not as funny anymore. That has been my biggest issue with electric cars, and trust me, I've driven them all. I enjoy driving a car with more than half of its power, and yet I smile so much more. It's not about how quick you get there. It's how you do it. What impressed me the most is how this car handles. The balance of it and the way it takes the turns despite its weight. No other internal combustion Audi can hang with this car, so in that way it sure awakens a bit of emotion. It is the super advanced suspension that does the tricks. The way it races for you when you enter or exit the car is something you can brag to your friends about. But I, as a photographer that need a quick in and out for a photo, turned off that function immediately. But the suspension overall is really the most impressive thing about this car. But for a petrolhead like me, I really miss the sound. I miss the excitement. I miss the downshift that can make my whole day better. So, in my opinion, Audi should really develop a proper sound for a car like that. Cause even if it would be fake, it would awaken emotion. It would surely be better than the constant silence you have to deal with here. But that's just my 2 cents. The interior of this 2026 Audi RS E-TRON GT Performance has many things to be happy about. And the reason for that is that it has Audi's previous so loved generation of interiors. I've been yapping about my disappointment of their new interiors for quite a long time now, so I don't want this video to be about that. I will say this though, the pre-facelift had a much better interior. Because here you have that utterly hideous and hopeless steering wheel again that Audi forces on all of their new models. And trust me on this one, people despise it and can't accept it. It needs to go. I can't believe until today who approved that airbag cover design. The design of the pre-facelift was such a lovely looking steering wheel with proper materials, design and real buttons. Why change something that was so loved? Also, the little nibbler as a gear shifter, even though it's an electric car, is such an emotion killer. Take the one in the first E-TRON for example, it was so lovely and easy to use. Anyways, back to the great areas, and I have to give kudos again to the forged carbon fiber details on the interior as well. And the feeling of having a beautiful and easy to understand Audi virtual cockpit is such a relief. It has everything you need to have. Well, except no startup graphics or any kind of model definition, which was always so Audi. It's really disappointing to spend $200,000 on a car and you don't even see in front of you what model you're driving. Even the steering wheel just shows an RS. It's those small details that matter. Other than that, you feel at home as an Audi driver. I had the new A6 e-tron a day before this car, and getting from that to this was amazing. And also the normal physical buttons for the AC controls is such a sigh of relief. You don't have to curse and ask what on earth is going on with those screens. It's simple, easy to use, and you don't have to take your eyes off the road. So overall, the interior, despite some flaws, is still a reminder of a time when Audi did some awesome interiors. The 2026 Audi RS e-tron GT Performance is the most powerful and the fastest accelerating Audi in the history. But it's not the way it accelerates that leaves the biggest impression. It's the way it looks and it's the way it handles. It is such a stunning looking car that you approach with pride. And it's one of the best handling cars in the world without a doubt. So after spending a few days with it, would I consider owning one? Well, for me personally that love the sound and emotion a car provides, it would be tough to own a car like this. I respect it, for sure, but speed is so easy accessible today and it's not what matters anymore. You can pay 1/5 of the price of this car and still get a similar acceleration. It's how a car makes you feel that is so important. Especially for a brand like Audi, where emotion has played the biggest role in my choice of new Audis my entire life. For now, I will let them work on that part a bit. And I will stick to my other four-winged icons that I smile driving with pride every single day. Thank you for watching.